All right, man. Welcome to an episode of the Tailgate Talk. This is a bonus special edition. I know, we always talk about, Philly sports, but this time we're talking about Pennsylvania sports. I got a request on my TikTok. So, if you haven't followed the TikTok already, please do so. The TikTok is called the Tailgate Talk Pod. And one of my followers, Andrew, with the Little Soccer or whatever, had asked me to do a video on the Steelers. And since, best friend, a Steelers fan, I fuck with the Steelers. Why not? Got my boy Ty here. He a Jacksonville stand. He's the AFC representative. So, let's first of all, how you doing, my guy?
I'm tired.
I feel you. We just got finished watching WrestleMania. So let's get into it. It's not going to be a real long episode. Steelers schedule, right? Mm-hmm. Week 1. It's the Aaron Rodgers Bowl. They play the Jets in New York.
In New York?
Yeah.
That's a dub.
Think they going to win? Or they going to lose?
Who?
Steelers.
That's a win for them.
Okay.
That's a early close game, but after halftime they kind of like.
I'm just looking.
Looking
at the schedule here. It's very backloaded, so they got to get off to a good start. So we got them. I got them beating the Jets at 1-0.
So 1-0. Okay.
Week 2, Seattle at home.
So this is the first game in
Pittsburgh.
Seattle. That's a win for Steelers. 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
My book.
Yeah, I would say 2-0. I feel like. So here's the thing. Well, we'll get to the schedule, then I'll tell you how I really feel.
Had Seattle not switched quarterbacks, I give Seattle the win.
Okay, you think Geno would win the Pittsburgh?
Oh, that's the DK Bowl. DK goes crazy.
Yeah.
DK goes crazy.
First 2 games is revenge games.
Yeah, DK goes crazy.
All right. Week 3, they got the Patriots.
Patriots?
In New England. I think that defense is too much for Drake May. I think they start off 3-0.
Who do they play after the Patriots?
Minnesota at home. So I got them
the
going.
The Steelers play Minnesota at home, or they play in Minnesota.
They play Minnesota in Pittsburgh.
They lose to New England.
I got them.
A trap game.
I got them beating New England, and I got them beating Minnesota. I got them going on 4-0.
I got them. So in that, I would say they lose to New England. Because they're looking ahead to Minnesota.
I don't think Minnesota's the team to look ahead to because they're not the same 14-1, 15-2 team.
You still got to worry about that team though.
Do you?
Yes. You can't not look. You can't not. They were like you just said. They were 15.
Yeah, but they don't got the same quarterback. They got JJ McCarthy.
Still, I don't take too much stock in not having the same quarterback, but they still had the same pieces. They still had the same defense.
Yeah, but also you got to remember in the playoffs they got obliterated, and the Steelers got a very good front like the Rams got.
Like I said, they lose to New England. They beat Minnesota.
All right, so because
they were looking ahead to Minnesota.
All right, you got them going 3-1. I got them going 4-0. They got an early bye, week 5 bye.
They got a week 5 bye?
Yes, exactly. All right, so coming off the bye, they got Cleveland at home.
Cleveland in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
They're 4-1 in my book.
See, in my opinion, they're 5-0. Okay. Now here's where they start losing.
Okay.
Week 7, you got to play Cincy at Cincy.
Cincy at Cincy lost.
That's a loss. So now they're 5-1, 2, 3. They're 5-1 in my book.
Okay. So they're 4-2 in my book.
They got Green Bay at home the week after that.
In
Pittsburgh.
Is that any stipulations on the game? Is it a Monday night game?
I don't know. It doesn't say here. It just says.
Let's see.
Let me see. I think I can pull it up. So, yeah, it doesn't. What's October 26th? That's a Sunday night game, I think. 8:20 Sunday night, right?
Hold on. I'm finna just look it up on the. Go to the good old reliable ESPN app. So. They have, another reason why they beat the Vikings. They're playing in London. That's a London game.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the Cincinnati game is on a Thursday, and the Packers game is Sunday night. So they got a long week.
They still lose to the Packers.
Okay.
I have them losing to the Packers.
I got that
so
too.
Currently, right now, they are on a
2-game losing streak.
2-game losing streak.
So I got them at
book.
I got them at 5-2.
So I'm 4-3 right now.
Okay. They got Indy.
Win.
The week after.
Win.
In Indy, week 9.
That's a win for them.
Yeah. So now they're 6-3. No, 6-2.
Right.
They got the Chargers in LA.
They lose that game.
That's a Sunday night game.
So I have them at 4 losses now.
I think they beat the Chargers.
I don't think they beat them. Only because it's in LA.
All
Only
right.
because it's in LA.
So I got them at 7-2. You got them at what?
I have them at 4 losses.
You have them at 4 losses.
So 5-4.
Okay. They got the Bengals at home.
They beat the Bengals.
I think they lose that game.
You think they lose both games to the Bengals?
Mm-hmm.
I think they win that game against the Bengals.
Because I don't think at that. Okay. So I got them at 7-3 at that point. And then you got the Bears in Chicago week after that.
The Bears.
All right, so I got them lose to the Bears too. So now they're 7-4. They got the Bills the week after that at home. That's a loss. They're 7-5.
Okay. I have the same loss.
They got the Ravens after that. That's a loss. They're 7-6. In Baltimore, Lamar has slayed the Pittsburgh Beast. Well, I don't know because with Aaron,
it's always a close game. Bro.
True, but with Aaron, they're not going to beat Ball. They'll beat them in Pittsburgh. They won't beat them in Baltimore. So
okay, I give you that.
Because I got them losing to the Bengals twice, the Packers, the Bears. No, I got to losing to the Bengals twice,
1,
the Packers,
2,
the Bears,
3,
and the Bills and the Ravens.
5, 6. I have 6 losses for them right now.
And so they were what in your book? If that's week 14, so they're
8-6.
8-6. I think I have them 8-6 too.
Okay.
Because they got the Dolphins.
They win that game
at home.
They win that.
That's a Monday night game. They win that game. They're 9-6.
9-6. They lose to the Lions.
So they're 9-7.
They beat the Browns.
They're 10-7, and I think at that point they'll beat the Ravens because the Ravens had the division wrapped up, and I don't think they'll be the 1 seed. They'll be the 2 seed.
I don't think the Ravens have the division wrapped up.
Who do you think is fighting for the division at that point?
1-2.
Them and the Steelers. If that's the case, then give me the Steelers.
I think the Ravens win the division in Pittsburgh.
I don't trust that. I don't. You know, Lamar get kind of tight in pressurized situations.
But I don't think that's too much of a pressurized. I don't think that's too much of a pressurized situation for the simple fact that both teams still make the playoffs, and this is all barring no injuries. This is a healthy season, majority healthy season. But I think both teams are in the playoffs, and it's just basically a situation of what happened with the Packers in Minnesota last year. Or not Packers in Minnesota, the Lions in Minnesota. Of like who wins the division and who has like the 6 or 7 seed.
So I think for this, so I got the Steelers going. So that's that. What's like 10-7? You have them?
Yes.
I think I got them 11-6. I think
they play 18 games, right? Or they play 17 with one.
Yeah,
break.
yeah.
So I would have them at.
You got them at 10-7. So I got them at 11-6 because I see them beating the Ravens because I think the Ravens will wrap up the division by then. Only because in order for the Steelers to have any chance of winning a playoff game, they got to play the AFC. They got to play the AFC South.
But I will say, they don't play us.
No, what I'm saying is, in order for them to win the playoff game, they gotta draw the 5th seed.
Oh, okay.
Because they're not going to beat a Buffalo or Baltimore.
Okay, I will say the key stretch for them, in my opinion, is the 5-game stretch of Chargers, Bengals, Bears, Bills, Ravens.
Yes.
Which you have 1, 2, only 2 of those games are at home, which is the Bills and the Bengals.
Because what did they go last year? Like 10-7?
Who?
The Steelers.
Hell no, they went 9-6. No, they went 9-8. 9-8. They just barely got over the. Because you remember Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing season.
I think I think Aaron Rodgers is worth 2 more wins.
Okay.
If Aaron because you got to think about it, right? If Aaron Rodgers could play just a little bit better than what Justin Fields and Russell Wilson played, I ain't gonna say they Super Bowl contender because I don't see them beating the Chiefs or the Ravens or the Bills, but they can. Successful season for them.
So at best, you say they're 11 wins.
Yes.
At worst, what do you say they are?
9.
9?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I say at worst. I say at worst they win like 6 games.
Aaron Rodgers has to be a little bit better than
he has to. Yes, but I still don't trust their offense.
I would have felt better if they would have kept Pickens to go with Metcalf.
I agree with that. But I still don't trust their offense enough to. I trust their defense. I trust their defense to win more games and hold out more wins in their season than their offense to go win games.
I think it's going to be a few games where I can see Aaron Rodgers having like 1 or 2 game winning drives in the Steelers uniform.
1 or 2?
Mm-hmm.
I can give you that.
Like I can see them, and I think it's going to be that last game of the year where.
But that's what I'm saying. So I would say that's what I'm saying. Within that, them playing that stretch of really, well, honestly, really, it's like a 6-game stretch if you're going to be honest with you. So it's really the first Bengals game,
mm-hmm. And
then
it's
the Packers,
the Packers,
or really, so it's really a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because you got the.
Well, that's a long ass stretch.
You got Cincy, Green Bay, Indy, Chargers.
So we will stick.
It's basically from week 7 to week 14. Essentially,
I'll stick to that 5-game stretch of basically all of November and then that first week of December. So basically November. So all of November they have the Colts, the Chargers, the Bengals, the Bears, the Bills, and then they have the Ravens. So out of those 6 games, right? Because sneakily, right? Very sneaky. The Colts could beat them.
Yes.
Very sneaky.
Correct.
So in that 6-game stretch,
but also very sneaky. Jordan Love can cost Green Bay the game. I agree. I'm not
That's
sold on Jordan Love like most people are.
In that 6-game stretch, I feel like for them to have a successful season, they have to go 4-2.
Okay, that's fair. That's why I had them having such a hot start because their schedule was backloaded at the end.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't think. Like, I think a successful season for the Steelers this year is for them to make the playoffs and win a playoff game, honestly. Like, you got to be realistic. They're not about to win.
So, so question to you. If we're the GM, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they basically have the same season they had last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go 9-8, 10-7. They go to the playoffs, they lose. Is that a successful season for you? And what are you doing with Mike Tomlin?
If they go 9-8 and lose in the first round of the playoffs, Tomlin got to go.
Tomlin has to go?
At that point, I feel like it's time for a new voice. I personally believe...
Is Rodgers on a 1-year deal?
Yes.
Okay.
I personally believe they messed up. This is from the outside looking in as somebody who's an Eagles fan, but also roots for the Steelers.
Right.
When I don't play them, they messed up when they ain't drafted Shedeur Sanders. He was right there. You need a QB for the future. He was right there. He dropped all the way to you in the first round. The last time you drafted a quarterback was Kenny Pickett. Like, because the thing is, right?
You keep putting a Band-Aid over.
Correct.
Yeah.
You keep putting a Band-Aid over. Yes, I understand.
So, okay.
And then the one year they did decide to have a losing season, you had a shitty draft class. You had Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis.
Okay. So, to what you said, the start that they had, you had them going at 4-0 or like 4-1 within their first 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Say they go in the first 6 games, which is Jets, Seahawks, New England, Minnesota, Cleveland, Cincinnati, right?
Mm-hmm.
In those first 6 games, or we'll say the first half of the season. So Jets, Seahawks, New England, Minnesota, Cleveland, Cincy, Green Bay, Indy. What is that? 8 games? In those 8 games.
9 games. Yeah, 8 games.
8 games. In those 8 games, say they're somehow 3-5, 2-6, right? Do you shut down Aaron Rodgers?
No.
From the ability, and when I say this, I mean this from the standpoint of, from you being a GM, do you shut down Aaron Rodgers from the standpoint of him trying to continue to win you games? for the possibility of you having a better draft spot for a quarterback of the future?
No, because if you're 3-5, ain't no way in hell you going through this stretch of winning. Like,
But you don't know. That's my point.
Because
at that point, you don't know what may happen on the back end. Because you played it. Say hypothetically speaking, right? Say you play the Chargers, you win that game. Say you play Cincy, you win that game, and you play Chicago. Now you're on a 3-game winning streak, right? Going to play Buffalo Buffalo coming to you. You don't know what Buffalo may be going through before they get to play. You know what I mean? So now you started the season 3-8, right? Or 3-5, or what do we say?
Like 3-5
games?
Yeah,
so
3-5.
Now you're 6-5, and then say you go through the rest of the season and you only end up at 9-8. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, do you?
If I am their GM, well, knowing their culture, that's not what they do.
Of course, it's not the culture. But I'm just saying from the standpoint of not continuing to only put Band-Aids over what you have at the quarterback spot.
So if I was the GM, if I'm 3-5 after the first 8 games, I'm going to release Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Because you release him, see if he can go on to another team with a chance to compete,
right? And
you throw in fucking Mason Rudolph, who they got, and just like, hey, listen, we gonna suck.
You just accept it.
You just accept
That's my
it.
point.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, because there's no way in the world, right, in that division you're going to compete if you don't have a solid quarterback. Because you got Lamar, you got Burrow,
right,
and whatever the Browns got. The Browns end up like basically at this point, if you're 3-5, you in a running with Cleveland to see who the fuck gonna get Arch Manning.
Well, that's my question. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you say, all right, cool, we just gonna go ahead and
I would.
We're gonna tank for Arch, or we don't want to make it blatant, but we're going all in for Arch Manning at this point. That's what I'm saying.
Because I really feel like they messed up where if you didn't draft,
because you know, say Aaron Rodgers has that start right on the back half, you know Aaron Rodgers is gonna try and, I don't want to say save his career, but he's going to try and save face and win some of those. He go win the game against Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. He goes and wins 2 games against Lamar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a way to go out.
Yeah.
And now you're in a situation where you kind of screwed yourself out of having, you get to the end of the season, like they were saying, like with me being a Jaguar fan, with what happened with the Jets when they were like, oh, if they would have lost that one game to New England, they would have had a chance to draft Trevor.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And then you end up with a situation where now you're drafting possibly the second or third best quarterback in the actual draft class when you had the opportunity to be that one spot.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. I just if I was them, I would have at least attempted. Like you could have drafted Shador in the 3rd round. I wasn't a fan of them not drafting him in the 1st round for whoever they got, because I felt you could have got him in the 2nd round. But then when you didn't draft him, knowing you need a quarterback, it was because what if Aaron Rodgers decided not to sign? You're not trying out there Mason Rudolph expecting to win games. Like you're not.
Yeah.
You're not. Like at some point, like you gotta you
gotta bite the bullet.
Yeah, like I understand that Mike, and I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach.
Right.
But I felt like that was his call to not draft Sanders because he wanted a defensive player. And the defense is cool, but the defense gonna get tired if the offense keep going 3 and outs, and you gotta keep going back on the field. It's always going to negate a good defense.
Yeah. And
TJ Watt's getting older. He's staying hurt. I understand why they gave TJ Watt that money. I wouldn't have done it, but they had to because he is their defense. Especially when they traded Minka away, which I did not agree with.
Well, now they have Jalen.
I think Jalen's
you have Jalen, Joey Porter, and I mean I don't obviously know a lot of their defense.
Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah, Joey Porter Jr.
But I think
Jalen. But Jalen, I feel like Jalen's gonna play the same role he did with the Rams. Of like he's gonna play the rover type. He's gonna be all over the field. The real lockdown corner is going to be Joey Porter.
But I don't think Jalen's better than Minka though, which is why I wouldn't have. The crazy thing is, right? You give up a first to get Minka, because remember the year they stunk that year. The year they traded for Minka, well, they were in the middle of losing, and they got Minka, and they went on that run to end up being over 500. But when they traded for Minka that year, they were like 1-4 or some shit like that. And it's like you trade for Minka just to trade him back to the team you trade him to. Like I wouldn't have traded Minka for Jalen Ramsey. My personal opinion. I think Jalen's on the downside of his career. I could be wrong.
I don't think Jalen. As somebody who saw Jalen, I don't want to say at his height, but seen his rise to be what he became. I'm not gonna say he's on the downside, but I think I would compare Jalen Ramsey right now to what Tyrann Mathieu was for his last like 3-4 seasons.
Okay.
Like he's somebody who's he's good enough to cover a 1, but I love to see him on your 2, on your 3, on your tight end, because it's axing all of that. And in a division that you're playing the Ravens, they have good tight ends. They don't really have number 2 receivers. You have Joey Porter to cancel.
And with Isaiah here, okay.
And that's what I'm saying.
And with Isaiah likely out because he got hurt.
So that's what I'm saying. So in that division with that defense, the Steelers theoretically could go possibly 5-1, 4-2. So truthfully speaking,
here's the reason why I feel like they didn't draft Shador and got Aaron Rodgers, because I felt like if they wanted, you're not going to win a division with Shador, but if you
might,
I don't think not as a rookie. I felt like if you wanted the best chance to win, you wanted somebody like Aaron Rodgers. Here's the question: so if the Steelers make the playoffs, you don't think the Bengals are making it this year?
I think it'll be. I really do think it's going to be a situation where,
because I don't think 3 teams is getting in from the NFC, from the AFC North.
As I'll say the resident representative on Tailgate Talk for the AFC, I say you have the Chiefs, you have the Bills, you have
Ravens.
I'm gonna say the Ravens, and you're gonna say I'm saying this not as a homer, but I really do think Jacksonville is going to represent the South.
I could see that because
I think it's going to be one of those situations where we win the division based off of tiebreakers.
So I could see that because they haven't Mixon is hurt. The Texans wide receivers are also hurt. Like Tank Dell's not coming back, or Nico. And then on top of that, the offensive line is trash.
So I think we win the division off of tiebreakers, right?
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you think?
That's 4. So with 3 spots left, I think Steelers, Broncos,
and it's a fight between the Chargers and the Bengals.
Chargers, Bengals, and Texans.
Okay, I can see that.
Truthfully speaking, so I can see 3 teams coming out of the AFC West.
Yeah, 3 teams coming out the AFC West, 3 teams not coming out the AFC North.
So I could really see that happening. And then also I feel like the low key like sleeper team in all of this is the Dolphins. Truthfully speaking.
Yeah.
Like there's somebody that could, jump in the mix. But I think the Bengals lose out on like tiebreakers and stuff, truthfully speaking.
If the Bengals lose out,
but I don't think it's gonna be like, I think it's really gonna be a situation where it's gonna be a bunch of teams that are like literally at 10-7 and 9-8.
So kind of like last year.
Yes, and it's just gonna be like you're gonna get to the end of the season, those last 2 games, and it's gonna be like, damn, like if you lose this game, the next week you were hoping for somebody else to lose and they don't lose. So like the Bengals where they won, but they needed 4 other teams to lose last year. Yeah, I got exactly, just like that. So
I got you. Who do you think? Real quick, and we'll wrap it up. Just a little quick episode. Who do you think represents the AFC this year
in the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm gonna give you a hot take.
I think. As much as I really want to say the Chiefs, I really think this might be the Ravens' year.
I was about to say, I think it's either the Ravens or Buffalo. I don't think the Chiefs go back.
I don't think it's Buffalo, though. I don't. Like, it's just something about Buffalo that's just like, they don't. And we had this conversation like off air that one day, or maybe we had it on air, about if the Eagles were to ever go into the AFC, like how everything would play out and everything like that. I just think Buffalo, if you put it into just we're gonna call it the 3-headed monster of Buffalo, Kansas City, and the Ravens. Buffalo's the lowest team on that team. So
here's what I'll say about Buffalo. Buffalo's only path to get to the Super Bowl,
they have to have home field advantage.
Correct, and it has to be to where, like, you know how like they were the 2 seed that year, and they had to play the Chiefs. They need to get the 1 seed. They need to get the 1 seed so the Chiefs and Ravens can battle out.
It's just I really feel like for Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl, they can't see Kansas City or the Ravens. They can't. Like, it has to be a situation where, say Buffalo is the 1 seed, right? And Kansas City happens to play Buffalo. Or Kansas City has to play Baltimore. Or has to play Baltimore, right? My fault. That Kansas City and Baltimore play somebody else and they lose to them off of like some like just some craziness. Like, say like what happened the year with the Texans, where he just got hot in the playoffs, right? And Stroud just takes off. Or you get a situation where a Jacksonville or a Chargers where they play one of them and they just catch them at the right time. Like they just have the game of their life.
So here's my take. I think Buffalo gets there. Dave's not got to play Kansas City. Like, I like Lamar. I don't trust Lamar in the playoffs. Lamar in the regular season, a beast. Lamar in the playoffs, I don't trust it, bro. Like, he had 4. Like, look, last year he had 4 turnovers all year, and he plays Buffalo in Buffalo, and had 2 turnovers in the first half.
Look, but my thing. So I just feel like with Lamar, I feel like when he gets to the playoffs, they try to rein him in so much from what he did in the regular season. That's my honest opinion, because he looks so tight playing in the playoffs. And
that's my thing. I don't
think it's him. I think it's the offensive play calls in the playbook, and it's kind of like, we want to let you go loose, but we also don't want to like overdo everything
until he shows me otherwise. Now,
I put like this. I feel like for Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl, it has to be like the year when Jacksonville went on that run and upset everybody, and then they played the Patriots.
Okay.
Where it was like, damn, why is Jacksonville beating all these teams? And then they get to play the team that everybody expects to go, and they challenge them, but that experience kind of lifts them above it. I think that's what has to happen for Buffalo to get to Super Bowl.
I'll say this, and then we'll wrap it up. In order for the Eagles to repeat, they got to play Buffalo or Kansas City. I don't think we beat Baltimore in the Super Bowl if we play them. I don't see it happening. And that's coming from a real live diehard Eagles fan. I don't.
So as an Eagle, so I'll ask. So that was your take. So as an Eagles fan, right? Who are the top 3 teams in the AFC and the top 3 teams in the NFC you feel like would derail y'all from repeating as champions?
Kansas City.
If you played them in the playoffs,
the Ravens.
Kansas City Ravens.
I'm not really worried about Buffalo. I'm not necessarily worried about Kansas City, but with Patrick Mahomes, I'll put Patrick Mahomes up there. So in the AFC, Kansas City and Baltimore. Okay. Because I don't think Buffalo has the wide receivers or the offensive line to handle our defensive line. Okay. So I only say 2 in the AFC. Okay. In the NFC,
who do you not want to see on the playoff run? Hypothetically speaking, say if y'all were just only the wild card and y'all have to win 3 games to get to this, y'all would have to win 3 games or 2 games? 3 games.
We have to. Okay.
You have to win 3 games to get to the Super Bowl, right?
If we're the wild card,
you have to play the wild card, divisional, conference. So if y'all were the wild card, what are the 3 teams you don't want to see on the path to go to the Super Bowl?
Tampa. Okay. I don't want to see Tampa. I don't care. Even though I think we're a better team than Tampa, we just can't beat the motherfuckers. Todd Bowles got Jalen Hurts' number. Okay. I don't want to see Tampa because I also feel like Baker Mayfield is good. Okay. If they're healthy and rolling, don't want to see the Rams. Okay. I know we beat in the first 2 times, but I know we got Sean McVay's number. Still don't want to see him. Okay. And I don't trust him. I don't trust this player at all. But I don't want to go to Lambeau Field. I feel a whole lot better playing him in Philly. Okay. I don't want to go.
So you feel good about playing Washington. You feel good about playing Detroit.
Yes, because Detroit, people forget Detroit ain't got no line no more, and that's Jared Goff's weakness. They lost a couple people in the free agency, and then their best lineman retired, Ragnow. Okay, I don't want, and also I don't think the line's gonna be that good this year because when you lose both coordinators, that's hard to replace, right. And also with Jared Goff, that's his weakness. You don't have a line, you pressure him, Bam.
Right.
Commanders, we play them so much, I'm not necessarily worried about them. I would say this. If somehow, in a hypothetical world, if we had to fucking play Dallas in the wild card round, like they were the 2 seed, we were the 7 seed, I would be a little worried. Just because
the game's in Dallas?
Correct. Okay. If it was in Philly, ain't worried about it. But Dallas, we don't win playoff games in Dallas.
Okay.
And that's just a different environment.
So, since we're sending this out, I forget the young man's name.
What's his name? His name is Andrew.
Andrew. So say it's a Philly Super Bowl. Both teams are fully healthy.
We dog walking their ass, and I love the Steelers. So? Yes.
You really think as a swan song walk off for Aaron Rodgers, you think y'all dog walking the Steelers?
If they like, here's the thing.
I'm saying healthy. We're
yes.
talking healthy.
I think it'll go exactly how it went last year.
Okay.
It'll be close at halftime, and we just control the game in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Because you're not going to shut down Saquon twice, and
with that defense, I don't know. Hey.
Okay.
Steelers. I feel like
I don't
as an ode to him. I feel like Steelers are gonna have a top 5 defense
I can see that.
This year in the AFC,
I just don't see Ramsey shutting down Devontae Smith or AJ Brown. To be honest, I don't think Joey Porter hold the candle. Joey Porter Jr. is good, but he ain't holding the candle to fucking AJ Brown. I think Trent McDuffie's better than fucking Joey Porter Jr. and he torched Trent McDuffie. Okay. And I don't think Jalen Ramsey, prime Jalen Ramsey, yes. Older Jalen Ramsey, no. I felt like I'd have been much more scared if they would have kept Micah. Okay. Because I think Micah as a ball hawk safety, because you know Jalen like to throw it deep, but they ain't really got no safety like that no more. So you can just whoop. Devontae Smith get a step. I could see
I like the Steelers' defensive line to cause some havoc on Jalen.
I can see that.
I think if y'all played them in Super Bowl, I don't think it would be a dog walk. I think y'all maybe win late.
I think it'd be tight. When I mean dog walk is it'd be tight until like midway through the third quarter, and then we just take over the game. Not take over the game like score wise, just take over the game time of possession. Because that's how you're gonna beat the Steelers. See, that's how we beat them last time. You just got to tire the defense out. When you when you played them last year, remember the game when Jalen was like, "That's what I want to see," and he was all iced out. We held the ball for the last 8 minutes of the game.
Well, Rodgers back there, bro. I don't know.
We gonna see.
The Rodgers effect is real.
But Rodgers,
like you said, they're good for he's good for 2 wins.
He ain't what he used to be though.
He's not, but you can't account for veteran leadership.
I feel like if they got
Tomlin,
that'd
be a hell of a run, bro.
Yeah. If they got to the Super Bowl, I felt like he'd have used the ball as Rodgers' magic because he chokes in the AFC Championship game. I feel like the AFC Championship game will be his Super Bowl. Because when's the last time
I feel like Tomlin will outcoach Sirianni.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. At that point, I feel like I think he would, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I just don't see a world where you outcoach Andy Reid and then get outcoached by Mike. Now I love Mike Tomlin, right? And get outcoached by Mike Tomlin in the next Super Bowl later.
Because Andy Reid's an offensive coach and Tomlin's a defensive coach.
Okay,
so I think Tomlin would have enough to keep it close enough to let Aaron Rodgers do Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Okay.
I just think the weakest point for the Steelers is going to be their running game. That's the major.
Yeah, especially with Najee Harris going.
That's going to be
because he went to LA.
The major thing for them.
Yeah,
is how they're going to, because that's kind of like what messed up Aaron Rodgers in New York.
That's the thing though, because their offensive line isn't as great. That's why they haven't been able to run the ball as much. So that's what I'm counting on our defensive line to create pressure. And Aaron Rodgers is more like a pocket quarterback now. He can't run no more. So he's more like a Kirk Cousins in that sense. But all right, man. It's for you, Andrew. I ain't gonna do these. I mean, if you want to put requests in, I'll do special episodes. I was actually kind of shocked. I got a request in my second TikTok video. I was like, okay, Tailgate Talk might be going somewhere. Where can they find you at, my man?
Well, when the season starts, you can find me on my couch watching the Jacksonville Jaguars. But other than that, social media wise, I'm not on social media. So when you see me is when you see me.
All right, man. I got all my socials now. Instagram, _tailgate.talk. YouTube, the Tailgate Talk Podcast. Twitter, _tailgate TLK. TikTok, the Tailgate Talk Pod. All right, man. I'll see you on the next one. It's your fanatic Philly. I haven't come up with a nickname yet, so I'm still working on my nickname. I'll get there.
Your favorite Philly fanatic.
There we go. It's your favorite Philly fanatic signing out, and it's your the.
Don't say shit.
It's the.
Nope. Episode over. Okay.
The prince that was promised. That's when Nick Wright calls Trevor Lawrence for real. The prince that was promised. The prince that was promised.